So welcome to this SPFL game. This is between Celtic and St Johnstone. So this is games that would have been played tomorrow if not for the virus. So here's the teams. Celtic, they start with their usual 5-3-2. So Taylor, Ayer, Julian, Bitton and Forrest playing up the back five with Forster in goal. McGregor, Ncham and Brown in midfield, and Edouard and Griffiths up front. For St Johnstone, a 4-4-2 classic shape with Clark in goal, Tanzer, McCart, Kerr and Ralston in the back four. Wotherspoon, McCann, Davidson and Wright in midfield, and May and Kane making up the front two for St Johnstone. So let's see how the game gets underway. Celtic versus St Johnstone. So Celtic last time out, they were up against their old firm rivals Rangers and lost 2-1 after going ahead in the first half and dominating really the first half. St Johnstone, they were held 0-0 in a draw away at Hibernian, so they play an away again here at East Point Arena or Celtic Park, whichever you prefer. And so Celtic are going to kick off here at the East Point Arena. And it looks like St Johnstone are happy for them just to pass it amongst the back for a start. So Taylor now at this right wing. Kane follows him, and that's definitely a foul. He's kind of caught him a little bit late. So Celtic get the free kick just inside their own half earlier. About a third of the way into the St Johnstone half. So, and it looks like McGregor's going to be the one to swing this likely into the box. Oh, it's a very hard hit, very direct, but nobody's really there. So Celtic, one of the best defensive teams with Rangers up there before. Obviously these stats would have been before we started to simulate these games, but it's definitely been a reasonable season for Celtic, and despite the loss, they still find themselves clear at the top of the table. But they will be looking for victories at games like this to shore up that title as quickly as possible. May chests it down, but it's taken off him, and Cham now has it in midfield. Griffiths back from Cham, plays it forward to Edouard. He plays it back to Griffiths, Forrest, and Griffiths gets it back on the edge of the box now. Forrest with the cross, but it's well headed out, and now Davidson can work it out. So Johnston may be a chance here on the break. Right over to McCann. McCann's got a choice, and that's an excellent ball through. The flag stays down, but May maybe a little bit hesitant there and ends up being dispossessed by Brown. Some good defensive work from the captain there. And now Celtic have a chance to work it clear, but May wins the ball back. Wotherspoon now has it just outside the box, plays it very cleverly back to May, and a lovely bit of skill now. And a chance here, but May's skill or his luck runs out there. Now Wotherspoon, Kane is hitting it half turn, and has no problem for Forster in goal. And so he's able to hoof the ball up now. Oh, that's excellent play from Cham. Brings it out in midfield. Gets it back now. He's got some options. Griffiths has got a little bit of space, but it's well defended. Oh, that's a penalty. It's got to be. No, not given, but it definitely looked like he tripped him there. And the Celtic support, by the sounds of the boos going around the stadium here, thought so too. Well, that's an interesting decision there. Celtic carry on though, and a chance here. McGregor on the edge of the box. He's well trapped though, and gets it back after 1-2. He's turned inside, and Griffiths is free. What a save from Xander Clark though. Griffiths free shot in the box, and you tend to think he should have done better. Look at the space that's opened up from there, and he's kind of clipped it with the inside of his left foot. But Xander Clark's done well. He's got down and made the save. So Celtic have a corner. 15 minutes into this game, still 0-0. And St Johnstone are doing well. They're doing their defensive duties really well out here. Oh, was clipped off the side of Julian's head there. And that could have gone in. Just a little bit more direction. It's quite high though, which we didn't see from the angle earlier, but in either case, it remains 0-0. So some decent chances. It's got to be said. Griffith's chance there in 15 minutes, probably the best so far in the half. But St Johnstone doing well to hold out this offensive Celtic team. Oh, that's well worked by Edouard. He's won the ball back, but it's won again. And Davidson now. Davidson plays it across to May. May plays it on to Kane, but he's dispossessed by Ayer. And McGregor now has the ball. Edouard to McGregor, to Griffiths, to Ncham. Brown gets to it just in time to get it to Edouard, who places it back to Ncham and plays the high ball over to Forrest. And this is Edouard, I think. Griffiths again in the box, but again well kept out. That's not a great clearance. And Forrest is going to keep that in. Is that gone away? Yeah, it's a corner. Well, he kind of hammered it, and the deflection took it out. So another corner for Celtic here, and St Johnstone will be hoping that the result is the same, that they can get this clear. But McGregor takes the corner, and this time it is cleared by St Johnstone. Wotherspoon now has a chance to break. That looks offside, and it is in fact offside. Stevie May just didn't time the run quite well enough. And yeah, it's well defended really. He's seen the run that he's trying to make, and he's just took that step forward. So Celtic now with the free kick just inside their own half. It's beaten by Ayer right up to Edouard, but he's lost out in the air, and so Kane now has it inside the Celtic half, but he's well dispossessed there. And Brown now has it in midfield. Griffiths coming steep, as does Edouard. Edouard plays a nice ball out to Taylor out on this left wing. Taylor inside, and Edouard now on the edge of the box. He has a chance to cross it. It's well defended, but not this time, and Celtic have the lead. And that's McGregor who's put that in on the rebound. It is indeed, and they have looked like the more likely team to score. And St Johnston's defensive luck has just run out there. Edouard does well on the edge of the box here, manages to get the cross in. It's well defended initially, but nobody's picked up the second ball, and McGregor has hit it well on the left foot, and he's just flashed past Zander Clark in goal. So Celtic 1, St Johnstone 0. 28 minutes into this game, so let's see what response St Johnstone have now to this. It's out to Ralston, Kerr, Davidson plays it across to Tanza. Tanza plays forward nicely to McCann. McCann finds there's May in the box, and Wotherspoon now. Wotherspoon plays a nice ball in, and Julien's risen well to get to that. So St Johnstone have their first corner now. The away fans will be hoping for something to come of this. It would be a good time to score. And direct response to the Celtic goal, but we'll see how this goes. Wotherspoon hooks it in, and it's well headed clear. And as far as Tanza finds McCart. McCart into McCann. McCann to Davidson. Davidson finds Stevie May. The flag stays down, and that's a reply. Stevie May scores. And that is 1-1. St Johnstone. A little bit of a surprise there, but look how well worked that goal is. And Ayers put his hand up, but he's not played to the whistle, and in the end that's been the undoing. But well finished. In at the near post, and he's just lifted that above Forster in goal. So this is definitely a game that Celtic find themselves in now. 34 minutes on the clock, and that was the response that St Johnstone were looking for. And there he is, the man who scored. He's had a decent game so far.
Number 14, Stevie May.
So again, how will Celtic respond now? Stevie May dispossesses Griffiths up front there. Right, plays it in. Cham does well to take it off McCann. And now Brown. And plays it to McGregor. McGregor to Edouard. 1-2 with him. And Cham. Right to McGregor. Griffiths now on the edge of the box. He's taken off it though by Kerr. And then McCann hooks it clear. And it's going to go out for a throw in right on the halfway line. Celtic take it quickly, maybe too quickly, and Wotherspoon takes it off the man there. Stevie May plays it on for Kane, but it's well tracked by Ayer. And so Celtic able to get the ball clear. And Cham now on the halfway line. Passes it out wide to Forrest. That's a good ball, and Griffiths has run onto it. He's got Edouard in the box, but he's unable to get his cross off. And that's excellent defending from Tanzer there on that left back position. So Griffiths takes the throw. It's won in by Forrest. Gets the throw in a little bit further away now. Griffiths to Forrest. Forrest plays it into Brown. Brown's got a bit of space, finds Cham. Back to Brown. Now finds Griffiths in the box. Well, that's a foul. Right on the edge of the box there, and he's more come from Griffiths' mistake there. He's kind of lost the ball. The defender's just run into him, but he's definitely impeded him. So Edouard looks like he's going to take this free kick, and he's got a decent kick on him from the dead ball. So it's likely that he's going to go for goal, one would think here. To me, and it is, it's a goal. That's a fantastic free kick. He's just lifted it over the wall, and Zander Clark isn't able to get to it. So it's 2-1 now to the home team, and it's Edouard who has put them in front this time. What a phenomenal free kick, really. He's just passed it over the wall, and Zander Clark's got a glove to it, but he's been tracking that. Oh, he will think he could have done better there. He's got his full glove to it, but he's just sort of palmed it into his own net. But Edouard, a decent free kick, and just before half-time is a very good time to put yourself back in the lead. But this time Celtic will need to hold on to that lead.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of
4 minutes of injury time. That's quite decent. Oh, Edouard takes it back now, and Celtic have it back in midfield with Cham. Plays up to Griffiths and back to Cham. He's got Brown now. He's got Forrest making a run out on this left-hand side. A little bit of passing between these two. Brown looking for an option in, but St Johnstone haven't been defending terribly. They've just found themselves down to 2 good goals. Decent shot there from Griffiths, but he's been doing it again on the turn, so it's fairly soft in the end for Zander Clark to pick it up. So Celtic 2, St Johnstone 1 is the half-time score, and thanks to this one's excellent free kick, Celtic find themselves in the lead, but St Johnstone have definitely given them a game. They've been battling hard in defence and quite dangerous on the attack as well when they've been able to get the ball forward, but statistics will probably show that Celtic have had the lion's share of the possessions in this first half. So here are the highlights from that first half. So 15 minutes in, and this is Griffiths, an excellent opportunity here. You really expect him to score, but he's kind of not hit it as well as he would have liked, and Zander Clark's been able to get down to that and palm it clear. So it remained 0-0 at that point. Then Julien had this header at the front post where he's got ahead of Kerr, but it's looped high and wide in the end. So St Johnstone clung on, but this was the goal 28 minutes in. Edouard again chipped it in. It's headed clear, but only as far as McGregor hits it on the half volley past Zander Clark, and it's an excellent finish really, but again, nobody's picked that up. Immediate response though. Stevie May loses his man, has the time to turn, and then lifts it beautifully over Forster. So some excellent goals in this first half, that's for sure. And then this free kick from Edouard, he's just lifted it over the wall. And Zander Clark, although he got a glove to it, it wasn't enough. And that is the score at half time. So here we go, 6-2 on shots, 4-2 shots on target, possession 59-41. Good tackling ratio for St Johnstone. They've had to put that in, but then 2 fouls as well. So, and all in all, the score probably reflects the statistics from the first half. Let's see how the second half pans out. It is, after all, a game of two halves. So, St Johnstone kick off from left to right. Ralston now, and he's well tracked by Edouard. He's having a blinder out there today. He really is. He's got the ball now. And Cham. It's good little play, and Cham runs onto it, but he's well tracked, and McCart takes it off him. Davidson now to McCann. Kane lifts it out to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon, cheeky little flick to Stevie May, and gets the ball back now, but it's well blocked out by Julian. Brown's able to get it into McGregor to Griffiths. Griffiths, a little bit of space, finds Brown again. Some good possession play from Celtic here. It's well turned, but again, good tackling. And now McCann finds Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon's got a run from Stevie May, and that's a decent ball, but Julian gets the ball back to his keeper in the end. That's an excellent interception, because you fancy Stevie May in a one-on-one situation. He's a good striker. Taylor lifts it up, and that's a great ball. Forrest's got a bit of room now, and he'll be able to get to the byline, get the ball in, but the cross is not a good one, and St Johnstone have got it clear. And Stevie May again beaten by Julian, and the ball there, and Cham plays it up for Brown, gets it back, plays a good ball in. McGregor, nobody's tracked that run, but it's well taken off him by Ralston. Now Davidson can get the ball to McCann. McCann finds Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon picks May up again in a bit of space here. He's going to want to get the cross in, but again he's been beaten by Julian. And now it is a chance for Celtic to get the ball clear. Forrest has been up and down that wing and having a decent game, but he's been well tracked by the St Johnstone defence. Oh, that's cheeky from Griffiths. He's turned on his man. Cham. Oh, well defended, last ditch attempt, and Wotherspoon now able to lift it up again to May. May has a chance, and he takes it past Julian this time, and this is dangerous from St Johnstone. He puts it in, and that's got to be a goal, and it is. It's Kane, I believe. No, it's not. It's Davidson, beg your pardon, who's arrived in the box unmarked, and he's just lifted it as well above Forster. And what an excellent break from St Johnstone. 2-2 here, and Celtic are definitely in a game. But what a turn from Stephen May. He's been beaten a couple of times by Julian, but this time he takes it past his man, and he finds Davidson in the box with all the time in the world. He's able to take a touch, level himself up, and then passes it into the top corner. That is a phenomenal break from St Johnstone, and they've looked dangerous on that wing. Wotherspoon and May linking up really well, and Davidson just arriving in at the back the box there to hammer that home. So 63 minutes on the clock, and we're back to all square. Celtic kick off again. McGregor, Edouard, back to McGregor, and Edouard has it back again, plays it to Brown, but it's cut out by May. Davidson now to Kane. Kane lifts it up wide to Tanza. Tanza finds Wotherspoon. Back to May. Kane's wanting it on the overlap, but instead it goes out to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon's got space for his cross here. Cross isn't good though, and Julian's able to get it clear, but only as far as Tanza. Tanza plays it back to McCann. Back to Tanza. Wotherspoon now is in space, and May, and it is. It's 3-2 to St Johnstone. And what a 10-minute period for St Johnstone. Well, Celtic just couldn't get it clear, and they weren't tracking the run at all. But what a tight angle. He's just placed it past Forster. What a fine shot. And it's so close to being saved, but in off the post in the end, and St Johnstone find themselves 3-2. Away from home at Celtic Park. That is a dream score for them. And May gets his second of the day. First substitution, so Christie comes on, I think from Cham. And a little bit of attack to that midfield for Celtic.
For the visitors, number 14, Stevie May.
Christie now on the ball, out to Brown. It's Forrest. Crossed into Griffiths. Griffiths to Christie. And Edouard. Edouard dispossessed. And again, St Johnstone defence solid out there today. So right, it's picked up by Brown. Julian gets it. Bitton. Christie. Christie finds McGregor, and McGregor's been given a fair amount of space out there today. Taylor's cross though is kind of hastily hit, but Celtic still have it, and it's hastily hit by Griffiths, and so St Johnstone are able to work it clear. Ralston now to McCart. McCart finds Tanzer out in that left wing, but Tanzer's going to have to start again, and instead his pass back is intercepted by Griffiths. Griffiths now, it's a decent cross, well read defensively, and Brown now gets a shot off, but it's in the end it's hooked a bit wide, and it's always travelling away from goal. Oh, in fact it was blocked by Kerr, so it's going to be a corner. So Hendry, it looks like, is on for Kane. Oof. Well, that was a bit tense. Ball came into the box and it was kind of ping-ponging around for a little while there, but in the end, Xander Clark's picked it up. Ralston to Wright. Wright lifts it up, but it's not a good ball. So in the end, it's getting a bit of ping-pong in midfield, and St Johnstone come off in front. Hendry to Wotherspoon. Wotherspoon, oh, that's a great pass. But what was the defence thinking of there? So Henry, his first chance on goal. Substitution, Bio comes on for Griffiths. Been well defended out of the game really so far for Celtic, and there's only 8 minutes on the clock, a goal down. Can Celtic lower this deficit? 5 goals out here today. It's been not a great day for defenders. Oh, well, that's got to be offside by about a country mile. That's Christie, who's just carried on running, and the defence has done well to beat him on the offside trap. It's not really worth measuring with the lines there. So another Celtic substitution. It looks like Frimpong on for Taylor. Yes, indeed it is. So let's see how this goes. Celtic with the ball in midfield. It's Forrest now on this right wing. He's running out of gas. Julian plays it in, but it's terrible, and Hendry's easily picked that up. McCann. Well blocked. Edouard now. Edouard to Christie. Christie to Edouard. That's got to be offside. Indeed it is. Forrest didn't time his run very well at all, and again the defence just keeping the line. It's been a phenomenal defensive display. I know I said earlier defences on either side haven't been very good, but certainly of the two teams, St Johnstone have been more solid in defence. A few questionable decisions from Celtic have led to the goals, really. Now then, Bio gets a chance, just about onside there, but again headed clear, and now St Johnstone have the ball. McCann to Wright. Wright plays a beautiful little ball to May, and May now has a bit of space to run onto it. A few people in the box. It's a decent ball, but it's a little too close to Forster, and nobody's taken the gamble to get to it. It's kind of a looping cross, but with a minute on the clock, it looks like St Johnstone will have won a very important victory in their race for the top 6. And indeed they have. St Johnstone 3, Celtic 2. So Celtic have struggled a little bit in the games that we've simulated, and in the end it was some clever passing, some poor defending that has led to a brace from May, and a win for the away side here. So that's the end of the game. St Johnstone 3, Celtic 2.